JD, it's been so long. Maybe this is all a mistake, trying to make a comeback.
Everything's gonna be just fine. Look, what did I tell you? Look at this. Oh, darling.
They did that for me?
All right, now remember, this is just a rehearsal. Take it easy. Try the number. Okay, we're ready.
Good morning. This is Army Archer talking to you from Hollywood. And this is truly a good morning. A morning when beautiful Ramona Landers is back where she belongs, in front of the cameras, for the first time in 12 years, making her new film. Well, we'll be talking to Ramona, and we'll also be talking to her co-star, handsome leading man Todd Gallagher, as well as to the film's financial backer, Mr. Miles Gantry, a most interesting man, a Rodeo Drive jeweler who decided to make his movie business debut by backing this lavish production. And, of course, to brilliant young producer-director, Mr. Bill Claudius, who's at the helm of this multi-million-dollar spectacular.
Crying out loud, she's been in makeup for 3 hours. How long are we supposed to wait?
Until the lady appears, not a moment longer.
I don't understand you. Ramona Landers is a relic, a haunting ghost from the past. Casting the two of us as star-crossed lovers is bloody ludicrous.
It's not too late, Todd. I'll be more than happy to close down production today and recast if you want out of your contract. We can announce it when the press conference starts, if you like.
That's exactly the shot I want in the scene when she's cutting his hair.
I never thought she was going to really come out of retirement.
Still fretting over our leading lady, are we? Come along. The great lady approaches.
Henry, you're still here after all these years.
Well, actually, I retired a couple of years ago, Miss Landers.
Ramona.
When I heard that you were coming back today to start filming again, I called in all my debts so I could be here.
That's the sweetest thing I ever heard.
They don't make stars like you anymore. Not real movie stars.
What you still fail to realize is what can make this tired old love story a classic is the age difference between Ramona and you. It'll be like Bo Derek playing Rick in Casablanca. E.T. as a musical. That's what makes it exciting. Different. Ramona.
Oh, Bill, how nice.
I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see you. You look lovely.
Thank you. I haven't received the changes we discussed.
Yeah, you'll get them tomorrow night at the latest. Good?
Good.
Ramona.
Oh, Miles.
Welcome back, Ramona.
Thank you, Army.
We're all interested to know why you chose Delilah for your film return.
Hey, who you kidding, Army?
Well, if it isn't Todd Gallagher, Ramona's leading man.
What really interests America is what body beautiful health nut Ramona Landers really has in her orange juice.
What?
Oh, just as we thought, folks. Almost straight 100 proof vodka. So that's what keeps the old girl so well preserved.
Keep tape rolling. Todd.
It's just Dane.
dead.
There's an old saying that if you want to deal with someone effectively, the first thing you ought to find out is what his passions are. If the lesson that Murray, Houston's senior VP and financial wizard, never has caught on to, I mean, now here he is, way out at the back of Houston's ranch, trying to talk business with Matt while Matt's wrapped up into the passions of his life. Horses and chili. Texas chili, that is. The only real kind.
Own private satellite into outer space just so you can watch the Oiler games live is really not good business practice.
I never said it was, Murray.
We get the Grand Ole Opry live, too.
It's worth whatever it takes just to get to see Dolly Parton and her... No, I don't think this is gonna get it, fellas. It needs 3 more green chilies and 6 more red.
3 more greens and 6 more reds. That's exactly what I said. Didn't I say that? I said 3 more greens and 6 reds.
Where are you going?
To the office.
But I'm telling you, in the hound's ear you did. You were talking jalapeno and cactus. But you're the one that tried to hunt pinto beans in the Texas chili.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This is the chili that you've been working on all week? This is the chili that you hope to win the contest with? And in doing so, win that horse, a horse that has become so important to you that I have had to cancel 3 corporate meetings and a merger for? I mean, I don't know why you just don't buy the animal.
You see where I come from. We figure winning's twice as much fun as losing. And this here's the chili that's gonna do it. So what's your point, Murray?
Well, if winning the contest and the horse mean all that much to you, why are you cooking out here? Behind the stable, downwind from the pasture.
Oh, you just don't know nothing, do you? This here's Texas chili, the only real kind. The aroma's just all part of it.
Houston, come on!
Stick around for a while, Murray. You might learn something.
Now, wait a minute. Look, I drove all the way out here because you said you weren't coming into the office.
Well, that was before I found out that somebody tried to kill an old friend of mine yesterday. You see, Ramona Lander's daughter called the office about 20 minutes ago, and she thinks she knows who tried to kill her mother.
Ramona Landers? The movie star? You know her?
Oh, hell, Murray, I bought this ranch from her.
Hey, if you knew anything about Texans, you know that practically makes Ramona family.
By now you should know that another one of Houston's passions, the only one that could pull him away from something as important as chili and horses, is helping friends.
Hi. Molly, you're all grown up.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you. I didn't know who to turn to.
Well, I told you a long time ago, Molly, if you or your mom ever needed anything, all you had to do was call. And I meant that. Now, CJ tells me you got an idea who tried to kill your mother.
I do. It's my stepfather, J.D. Harris. He's trying to kill her just like he killed my father and twin brother 7 years ago.
Well, now, that's pretty strong stuff. Have you got any proof?
Well, my twin brother, Eric, who was killed with my father, he told me in a dream.
Would you like to go inside and sit down for a minute?
Okay. Just what you have to know is about my mom and dad. When I try to tell people how much they loved each other, they just kind of smile. I mean, my mom being a famous movie star and my father being an important director. Well, people think they know all about those Hollywood marriages.
Now, listen, you don't have to explain anything about your mother's relationship with your dad. Everyone knows how devoted they were to each other.
Then how could she remarry just 2 months after he was killed in a plane crash? And especially to J.D. Harris. He was only a stuntman. And ever since they've been remarried, he's kept her away from making movies and all of her friends.
What about the movie she's starting now?
Well, that's just it. He couldn't talk her out of this one. And that's why he has to kill her. Because once she's back with her real friends, she'll see he's just been using her. She'll throw him out without a penny.
Doesn't your stepfather own a chain of self-defense schools?
Right, and every one of those schools my mother paid for. It's just like those books he had published. Nothing he does ever makes money. My mom's made him her beneficiary. That's why he has to kill her. It's because he wants her money. That's what Eric says.
Your dead brother. In the dream.
Yes.
There was no way of telling how much of Molly's suspicions were based on fact and how many were pure fantasy. But Houston reasoned if there was a chance any of them were true, it was best that someone find out.
It's a cozy little place you got here.
My dad bought it for my mom. They named it Casa de Mantua. Mantua is the place where Romeo and Juliet were supposed to live. If you'd wait down there, my mother should be upstairs. I'll go see if I can find her.
This can save more lives and prevent more rapes than having to fight.
Oh, that's him, by the way.
Fighting, impress on them
My
the value of
stepfather.
fast reflexes. Tell him to keep a lock on
Those
their
ladies are
side.
his self-defense club managers.
Sometimes you can
He
tell
gives them
when someone
special
is
instruction
using
twice a
what they
week.
know. Hold it. Cammy.
Look, why don't you give me a shout when your mother comes down, all right?
Very impressive.
It's impressive, all right. I just hope it's friendly.
All right, ladies, now you pair off and try.
Hello there. I'll bet you're J.D. Harris, aren't you? I'm Matt Houston. I tell you, I've read a couple of your self-defense books.
You're not welcome here, Mr. Houston.
Yeah, well, maybe not by you, but your stepdaughter, Molly, seems to think her mother would kind of like to talk to me.
Well, that was a mistake.
Now watch my arm.
You see, the police are investigating the attempt on my wife's life, and both Ramona and I feel that's quite sufficient.
Well, then you wouldn't mind if I just stuck around and heard that from Ramona herself, huh?
My wife isn't feeling well. She's spending the day in her room, and I want you off the property as soon as possible. Like now.
Houston, the maid says Miss Landers is coming downstairs now.
Well, it's been nice talking to you, Mr. Harris.
Shit, I want you to leave.
I told you I read your book.
Houston, it's so lovely to see you again.
Ramona, you're looking super.
Ah, thank you. I'm just sorry it has to be under this tragic circumstances. My Molly, she's such an impetuous girl. She means very well, but I'm afraid that she's just wasted your time in asking you to come here.
Just seeing you, Ramona, makes it not a waste of time.
Is Molly going to join us?
No, she had to go on an errand. Excuse me, I don't think I know you.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is C.J. Parsons. She's my top lawyer and sort of all-around right-hand man. Woman.
Girl.
Girl.
Must be a wonderful person to have Houston put such trust in you. As I was saying, my husband and I have complete confidence in the police investigations.
Mind if I had a sip of that? stiff drink for this early in the day, isn't it?
He makes me. I'm so afraid.
Mona?
Oh, darling. There you are. Houston and I were just talking over old times.
Very tired, darling.
We were just talking.
I think it's time for you to go up to your room.
Now, come on. Surely you couldn't have any objections to a couple old friends just talking, could you?
Sweetheart.
I am a little tired. The strain of the last few days and all. J.D. always knows what's best. I do thank you both for coming.
Well, I'd like to say it's been a real pleasure, Mr. Harris, but the only problem is, I've never been much good at lying.
Now, Houston figured what was important was when that orange juice was poisoned. If it was before it was put on the table, then there could be a lot of suspects, like any nut who might have worked at the studio. That's only a couple of thousand.
Now, on the other hand, if it was after, it would have had to have been somebody who could have gotten close enough to that table without looking suspicious.
Meaning someone in the interview.
Right. Your favorite Dr. Chuckles.
J.D. Harris himself.
Right, Ramona's husband. We both know what his motive could be, and according to Molly, that's money and lots of it.
Bill Claudius, the, quote, boy wonder of directors, unquote. Miles Gantry owns a jewelry store on Rodeo Drive. Now, from what I could find out, he's completely financing Ramona's movie, some $5 million.
What do you say we pay a little visit to Mr. Gantry, huh?
Rodeo Drive is right in the heart of Beverly Hills. It's said that some of the most expensive shops in the world are found here. And when you're talking about a jewelry store like the one Miles Gantry runs, well, you're not talking about a store that you can just walk into and browse around. You have to make an appointment.
Beautiful Megan wearing diamonds that once had a war fought over them. Our theme for this month's specials is historic jewels in new and exciting settings. The whole ensemble was once $2.1 million. Now marked down to the incredible $1.3 million. Good afternoon. I'm Miles Gantry. May I be of some service?
Matt Houston, this is C.J. Parsons.
Ah, yes, you called about that dreadful incident yesterday. I don't know what I can tell you. It's terrible what happened to Todd Gallagher. You know, he was the type of young man that everyone liked. He was perfect for that role. Are the police making any progress in finding out who's trying to kill Ramona?
Well, Mr. Gantry, the police are working on lots of ideas, but I'm of the mind that the killer was someone close to Ramona. Probably at the news conference yesterday.
Oh, but that's impossible. There was just Bill, J.D., and myself. You certainly don't think that I love Ramona. And frankly, I resent your implication that I might want to do her harm. Adorable Audrey, wearing star sapphires from India that were once paid for ransom by the Maharaja of Kanchipur.
Did you get the distinct feeling that Gantry is trying just a little too hard to sell us on how much he loves Ramona?
Yeah, a lot too hard. Just wish I could figure out a way to find out exactly what that man's really thinking.
CJ.
Hello.
Hello.
Tell me, how are the green ducks?
Never better.
Green duck.
Just an inside joke. I met Rick at a party a couple of weeks ago.
What party?
The one you weren't invited to, Houston. The one where I met Rick.
Well, what's he doing here?
He works here, Houston. He's the assistant manager. Now, listen, if you really want to find out what Miles Gander is thinking, why don't I find out what Rick is doing for dinner tonight?
Yeah. Why don't you tell me about the green ducks?
Houston, haven't you ever seen a green duck?
No.
Then I guess you'll never understand.
CJ? Listen, would you mind a whole hell of a lot if we just got back to the original question? Now, do you know anybody who'd want to poison Ramona?
Like I told the police lieutenant, I haven't the faintest. I'm sorry. I really have to run.
Wait, police lieutenant?
Yeah, Italian fellow. Sort of a cross between Sly Stallone and Bobby De Niro. Name of,
Novelli.
That's it. The last time I saw him, he was headed for the Western Street.
Thanks a lot. Now, let's try a walk. Houston, what are you doing here?
Well, I'll tell you something, Vince. Apparently the same thing you're doing. Trying to find out who tried to kill Ramona Landers. She's a close friend of mine.
Why don't you go keep her company for a couple hours?
Any special reason?
Yeah, because that's how long it's going to take me to get my warrant. I got a witness that saw her husband put something in her orange juice.
Something besides vodka?
Better believe it. Something white, powdery, like maybe poison.
Save it for the camp. Cable's right over here on this.
Ramona! Molly!
Stop! Stop where you are!
Get an ambulance. It's your husband. Get an ambulance. How's he doing, Vince?
Still alive, but not by much.
Was he able to talk, say who shot him?
No, they don't even know if he's ever going to regain consciousness. It doesn't make any sense, Houston. It's all upside down. Just when we thought we had our killer, the killer almost kills him.
Yeah, I know.
How's Miss Landers taking it?
Well, she's scared, Vince. At least she says she is.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm not sure where Molly or Ramona were while the shooting was going on. I went in the house and I called out for both of them.
Well, they said they were hiding and were afraid to answer you.
I know that's what they said, but they also said Harris told them to stay in the house. The trouble is that neither Ramona or Molly know where the other one was during the shooting. I'm just not sure which one of them to believe anymore.
What do you mean?
You see, I had a conversation with Ramona this morning. She said Molly was on an errand. Wrong. I just talked to Molly, and she said Harris had her locked in a room and her mother knew about it all along.
Did you ask your mother about it?
Well, of course I did, and she denied the whole thing. See, she says Molly's been having problems, dreams, nightmares, and that kind of thing. She's been imagining things. Listen, I'm gonna have to run and meet CJ. I'll talk to you later. You ever heard of a green duck?
No. Right about now, that seems reasonable.
Taste buds of a lizard in heat. Not lime juice, nor tequila. Marty, you haven't been right since you bet on Jerry Cooney.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. What do you two think you're doing?
We're making the world's largest margarita.
Margarita? In there? Oh, no. This is Houston's private jacuzzi. If he ever finds out what you're doing, he'll kill you. Oh, no. He'll kill all of us. Houston, you have to understand, I knew nothing about this. I just arrived, and I am as shocked. Shocked, I say, as you are.
What are you fellas doing here?
Well, we delivered the chili to the plane going to San Antonio. We just always stop by for a little nip.
Needs more tequila.
You're all crazy. You know that. You're crazy.
No, he isn't, Murray. He does need more tequila. Come with me.
CJ, what is it?
I'm going to Mama Novelli's.
With the green ducks?
You want to find out about Miles Gantry? You get green ducks.
But CJ...
By the way, you're doing a wonderful job at those jewels. Are you enjoying yourself? Are you? And how's Miles doing? I'm so glad for you. By the way, you look so good. Oh, here it is. Good. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm really
You're sorry.
Oh,
Can I bring you some more spaghetti?
Dear.
I don't need spaghetti. How about some fish?
I
don't like fish.
Well,
Can I buy
now
you dessert?
don't argue.
CJ, excuse me.
I understand. Not to worry. Everything is just fine. Dear, well.
CJ.
Houston? I should have known it was you.
What'd you find out?
Well, first of all, Miles Gantry lied to us. He hates Todd Gallagher as an actor as well as a human being.
Why'd you put him in his movie?
Because Bill Claudius wanted to be in it. In fact, he insisted upon it. Now, I want you to fasten your seatbelt when I tell you this last piece of information.
Have anything to do with green ducks?
Houston, forget the green ducks. Now, according to my dinner partner, Gantry expects the movie to be a total disaster. Thinks Ramona is over the hill and thinks you might as well just strike a match and burn up the whole $5 million.
Why would a man sink $5 million into a movie when he knows it's going to be a bomb? Listen, I gotta make a phone call. Mama, you know anything about green ducks?
Vergognati! I wash your mouth out with soap. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Why?
What do you want to know about green ducks?
Well, it's because of CJ.
Oh, Miss CJ's a good girl. She should know from green ducks. And don't you tell her, eh?
CJ was... told me about the green ducks.
Hello?
Molly, listen, I gotta ask you a question. You know that diamond necklace your mother was wearing this afternoon? Was that real or was it a copy made for security purposes?
Oh, definitely real. Mom doesn't like fake jewelry. She says only the real ones have any life.
That's what I thought. I'll talk to you later.
How could you do it to me?
Do what?
There's no need for a charade. I know all about the jewels. I know you've taken them from me. We are alone in the house. I arranged it that way to make it easier for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, Miles. Who else could have done it? You have my jewels every year for cleaning. And you certainly have the expertise to make replicas. It's okay, it's just us, you can tell me.
What are you saying?
As an old friend, I wanted to make it easier for you to do what you've been trying to do for the past few days. Kill me.
Oh, Ramona,
Can't you
please.
see it doesn't matter? I have nothing to live for. A husband who doesn't love me anymore, my youth gone, my wealth gone. I'm sure you had good reason for stealing from me.
Oh, Ramona, for God's sake, stop it. I never tried to kill you. Yes, I took your jewelry, but murder.
Well, I don't guess we can make the murder rap stick, but we can settle for grand theft. Where I come from, $20 million worth of jewelry is very grand.
Yes, I took Ramona's jewels and replaced them with imitations over the past few years. But I also have receipts to show that I paid for every one of them.
That's a lie. I'd never sell my jewels.
No, you wouldn't. But your husband would. Oh, Ramona, he had to. He started selling me the gems just to keep this house going. Then in the last few years, when you started drinking heavier and heavier, he was afraid you'd have another nervous breakdown. He thought a movie offer would bring you out of your depression. But there were no movie offers. So he created one. Sold off the last of your jewels. Gave the money back to me so I could finance your comeback.
I don't believe you. I'm not going to stay here and listen to this.
Oh, yes, you will listen. You know, there's an ugly rumor around town, Ramona, that you may have put the poison in your own drink rather than risk a comeback.
What? That's crazy.
Is it, Ramona? Is it really?
Houston, it is 6 a.m. You have been soaking all night, and we're not getting any closer.
I know it, CJ. That's because this is Hollywood. You see, nothing's real in Hollywood. It's all fake. Diamonds were fake. Gantry was fake. This whole town is based on illusions. It's not what you see, but what you think you see. Just illusions. Wait a minute. Illusion. CJ. Maybe that's what this whole thing is about. CJ, let me ask you a question. Who's dead?
I am. Houston, if my brain is ever going to work again.
No, CJ, I'll tell you who's dead, and that's Todd Gallagher. You put up that interview tape we were looking at before. If I'm not mistaken, he said something just before he died.
Oh.
Incestuous murderous damn dame. Must be talking about Ramona.
No, he didn't say dame as in woman. He said dame as in Denmark.
Oh, that sure clears it up.
CJ just might have it that. If Todd Gallagher was the intended victim, CJ, I want you to get all the history you can on Todd Gallagher. He may have just told us who his killer was.
Houston, what are you doing here?
Probably the same thing you're doing, just trying to follow up a lead.
Go home. Clip coupons. It's a waste of time. Just another burglary. Headquarters tried to tie Gallagher's name with Ramona Landers. No connection.
You know as well as I do, when a prominent person dies, a lot of second-story guys come out of the woodwork.
Usually, while the funeral's going on.
Oh, did they get anything of value?
Who knows? The only person here is the maid. She doesn't speak English. See you later.
All right. Buenos dias. Me llamo Matt Houston. Se habla usted inglés? Se habla usted anything? Habla usted Ben Franklin?
What do you want to know, cowboy?
That's what I thought. Tell you, I need some information. Mr. Gallagher have a special place where he'd hide special things like a safe or anything like that?
Oh, see, a very secret place.
Good. Yeah.
Sígame. Aquí. Underneath the arches.
Super.
Are you hungry? Would you like some hot coffee and toast?
I'd love some. Why don't you make mine black? Know something? You're turning out to be a very expensive date, senor.
Señorita.
No comprende. CJ, what'd you get?
The information you wanted on Todd Gallagher? About 8 years ago, when our friend was in college, he did appear in a production of Hamlet.
Yeah, let me guess. He played the role of Hamlet.
Houston, if you knew all this, why did I bother?
See, that's what I'm getting to. See, at the end of the play, the king poisons Hamlet. He's also killed his father. And he marries his mother, then he kills her off, too.
They talk about violence on television.
Anyway, he attacks the king, saying, incestuous, murderous, damn Dane.
Oh, terrific. Now all we have to do is find out who the king is.
I think we just have. Why don't you come on out of there?
Houston, nice to see you again. What can I do for you today?
Well, I found what you missed at Gallagher's place. Your press clippings from Leland College.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do. See, it was an 8-year-old newspaper story about a drama student who killed his brother and then disappeared. He was a real bright kid. See, he used to act and direct in all the campus productions. The night his brother was killed, he played the murdering king in Hamlet.
Well, it would appear my career in Hollywood is over. Actually, I was getting rather bored with it anyway.
Why don't you tell me what kind of a man can kill his brother and then assume the name of Claudius, the murdering king in Hamlet?
A clever one, yes?
Then you made your way out here, made a real success for yourself. Then Todd Gallagher showed up. He recognized you from college. He blackmailed you into using him in all your movies.
It really wouldn't have been so bad had he been a better actor.
Then you found a way to get rid of him, didn't you? You knew how upset he was about playing opposite Ramona. You told him the only way to get rid of her was to humiliate her publicly. You put the poison in Ramona's glass, but only when you were sure Todd Gallagher was going to drink from it.
You stupid jerk! Can't you see you're on a take? Cut!
Hey, go back! Go back!
Not real! None of it's real! Could have been killed.
Huh?
The car.
The car.
About a week after Houston almost exploded himself in the movie history, J.D. Harris was released from the hospital. And he explained that the white powdery substance he was lacing Ramona's drinks with were in fact multivitamins to keep her strength up. And Ramona, finding out how much her husband really loved her, well, she seemed to be getting better herself. But the news that has Houston all excited today is that he found out he won the chili contest. And his prize horse was already here. Oh yeah, the bad news. I'm afraid that's what Bo and Lamar are about to spring on him.
My horse. He's here. He's in there, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but,
But what?
well, it's nothing, Houston. It's just kind of good news and bad news. Like, you remember we had that rain last night?
Now, wait a minute. He didn't take sick, did he?
Oh, no, nothing like that. It's just that, well, he kind of, shrunk. Yeah.
You. Yeah. Is he housebroke?
Well, he causes no problem yet. Good.
Oh. Look at you.
cock your pistols.
It appears you have met your match, my brother.
Have you ever thought of teaching your son the value of humoring his elders, my king? I have not won a single game this entire trip.
Can it be so, Ali?
If I let him win, Father, he will lose respect for me. Besides, losing to Uncle Fahad would be almost impossible. I mean, I've been so lucky on this trip. I don't think I could have lost to anyone.
Well, you see, he admits it's luck. Maybe it's time to change it. One more game, little Ali.
Hi, Buck. Abdul, how are you? How's everything going on the King business?
Having its ups and downs. How does it look?
Smooth. Clear as a bell all the way in. I left us on the ground in Los Angeles in a half hour.
The people are waiting for us, aren't they?
Come on, I wish you'd stop worrying, okay? We won't even have to go through the airport. I got a car meeting us right at the tarmac.
I should have known you'd take care of it. You always do.
This one's to Russ Miller, VP Marketing for Hotel and Casino Division.
Almost have you home. I must say, Jessica, you're very convincing as a top-notch business lady. Always working, dictating.
Well, I wish I'd been able to convince you to build a hotel in your country. However, I appreciate the ride. Halfway around the world's a long way to hitchhike.
First one who moved is dead. This is a kidnapping. Do as I say and you won't get hurt. You, boy, get into this parachute.
Please don't take the boy. Don't take the boy. Take me. I can be much more valuable to you for ransom.
Get into this parachute. I know you know how.
Get down! Get down!
No more talk, or I'll kill that woman next.
Don't allow anyone else. I'll come with you.
Ali!
I'll be all right, Father.
Sit down, or you'll never see your boy alive again.
Don't take the boy. Please, I'll give you anything you want. Wait!
You'll be contacted tomorrow afternoon at the consulate.
Houston, I need some... Yeah, fellas, let me get one more lap in, all right?
50 laps he swims every morning, rain or shine. Don't you think he'd be afraid of just wearing down to nothing?
Well, that's an idea. Maybe I'll just jump in there and swim and swim and swim, and then till there's nothing left of it.
Lamar, you can't swim.
I can learn.
Oh, fellas, listen, what's the problem? Did the heifers get out again?
Houston, I need getaway money.
Getaway money?
Yeah, Lamar and I thought we might head down Bolivia way.
Oh, I see, and rob banks and trains like Butch Cassidy and Son. Fellas, what's going on?
It's Beulah. She's coming for me.
Beulah, your ex-wife?
She was 3-time All-Texas barroom brawling champ.
Yeah, I know. She was a big... Listen, I thought she remarried.
8 or 9 times that I know of. And I was only number 2.
Only in the telegram, she says that she thought it over and that she likes Lamar best, so she's coming back to get him, whether he likes it or not.
I was going to tell about it.
Listen, fellas, this is the United States of America. Things like that don't happen.
I knew it.
It's too late already. She's come for me.
Oh, fellas, I think we got ourselves a whole nother problem here. Hey, listen, where are you going? What the hell's going on here?
Now, I just want to warn you about one little thing, Abdul. Houston is not the kind of man who likes to be dropped in on like this.
These some of your friends?
Actually, they're friends of Buck McCune.
Buck? What's he got to do with this?
Buck McCune works for me. He's also a friend. He said you'd be the best man to help me. I checked it out. He was right.
Houston, let me introduce you. This is King Abdul Ibn Hassim. Now, last night, his 14-year-old son was kidnapped from the king's own jet. In flight, Buck was the pilot.
Maybe in flight. You mean they parachuted?
Yes. I love my son very much, Mr. Houston. I need your help.
Well, I'll tell you something, Your Highness. I appreciate a father's love for his child. And being a friend of Buck's is not going to hurt you either. But I do not like talking at gunpoint. Bless you.
I can assure you, Mr. Houston, no offense was meant sending my security people here first. It's just that after the kidnapping last night...
Now, hold on a minute. Kidnapping. Now, I read the newspaper every morning. Now, how come I have not heard or seen anything about this?
That's because I can't afford to have your police or government involved. Political situations at home make it necessary for this to be handled in utmost secrecy.
How can I help your son?
My aircraft is only operated with top security measures in force. The only way the kidnapper could have gotten aboard last night was if someone already on the plane helped him.
Houston, the Royal Security Force gave us dossiers on all the people on board. Now, that information is being fed into Baby right now.
Well, Your Highness, I'll do the best I can. How can I get in touch with you?
At the consulate. The kidnappers are supposed to contact me there this afternoon. Mr. Houston, speed is of the essence.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Hello there, baby.
Now, besides King Abdul, there were only 6 other people aboard that flight during the kidnapping. So let's start with the kidnapped victim himself.
Alrighty.
You've got Ali Ibn Abdul. Now, he's the king's only son. He apparently is a very bright boy. He goes to a prep school in England. Now, the next 2 men you can safely eliminate because both the co-pilot and the security guard were killed trying to prevent the kidnapping.
Sounds like we're kind of hurting for suspects.
Until we come to Fahad Ibn Hassim. Now, he is the uncle of the boy. He's the brother to the king. Now, their father, who was then king, died 18 months ago, and there was an incredible power struggle. And apparently a lot of people were surprised when Abdul walked away with the crown.
Including Fahad?
A rumor has it he was plotting a military takeover.
Well, I think you better dig a little deeper on that one, CJ. I'd like to know exactly what happened and what went wrong.
You got it.
Who's next?
Next is Jessica Collier. Now, her father established Swingers International Empire, starting with the magazine, of course. And when he died last year, she took over.
What was she doing on the plane last night?
She was catching a ride home after a very unsuccessful trip. Apparently, she'd gone to see King Abdul about establishing a hotel casino in that country. Now, he liked the idea, but he didn't want organized gambling in his country.
Is there anyone else?
Just the pilot.
Good old Buck.
Frank Thomas Buck McCune, the kind of man people write movies about. Bush pilot, soldier of fortune, that sort of thing. And now, the confidant and private pilot to King Abdul.
You know, when I was 14, that man taught me how to box. When I was 15, he taught me how to fly. When I was 16, he saved my life in a mountain climb.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, I think I better find out exactly what happened on that plane last night, and I better start with Buck since he got us into this thing. Listen, have Murray check into the little lady's company. I'd like to know how it's been going since she took it over.
What, a company? No, I'm already a week behind.
Murray, don't worry about anything. I'll fill you in.
Yeah, well, CJ, call England. Talk to the boys' school. I'd like to find out how he's doing, especially in athletics.
You want CJ to call England to find out how a boy's doing in athletics?
Yeah. Sports fan, Murray.
Matlock. Hey, old fuzzy Matlock.
Oh, boy. Hey, take a look at that. Little old boy got himself a shiny new buggy.
Buck, I tell you, you haven't changed a bit since the last time I saw you, you son of a gun. Tell you something, it's good to have you in this one with me.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth, this one scares me.
Listen, your pal, the King, seems to think that the only way that kidnapper could have gotten on that plane is if he had some help from somebody that was already on board.
That's a fact. And the only place it could have happened was in New York. I put her down there for refueling. 20 minutes before I took off again, I secured the plane myself. I know nobody was on board then.
So within that 20 minutes...
Somebody got into the cargo area, released the hatch. I'll tell you, whoever it was knew what he was doing, because he waited until I got over the Mojave and I brought the plane down to about 10,000 feet.
Listen, can you show me a map of where that happened?
Give me an hour so I can try to pinpoint it for you. Anything else I can tell you?
Well, if you can fill me in a little bit on Jessica Collier.
Oh, that lady. Well, now, let's see. Does the word poison bring anything to mind?
Well, you're that fond of her, huh?
You always were a perceptive little devil. I'll tell you who was fond of her. Abdul. From what I hear, there were quite a number. Of course, that was before he became king. After that, he just kind of dumped her. At least that's the way the story goes.
Good look. But if we're really gonna make this work, you girls gonna have to be topless. And Henry, take your shirt off too. Nothing wrong with a little beefcake. It's gonna be great. All right, JR, it's all yours.
Miss Collier.
Oh, you finally made it. Studio B. Through that door. Take your clothes off and I'll be with you in a moment.
No, well, I'm afraid there's been some mistake here. See,
Mistake? Honey, if you want to be a centerfold, get in there.
Yeah, I know, and take my clothes off. But, you see, my name's Matt Houston, and I'm working on the kidnapping that happened last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely got confused. Has there been any word? Do they know if Allie's all right?
Well, no, not yet, no.
Oh, God. Abdul lives and dies for that boy. Not to know if he's alive or if he even survived the jump. What do you want from me?
Well, I'll tell you just a little information. See, now, the person who abducted Ali had to have some help from inside that plane.
Oh, that's impossible. The only people on the plane were... I liked you better when I thought you were a centerfold.
Well, now, listen.
What you're saying is that we're all suspects, Mr. Houston. And I, for one, resent that.
Listen, Miss Collier, I'm just specifically concerned with facts here. Specifically, the 20 minutes on board that plane before it took off from New York.
Tony will see you out.
Come on now, that's not very friendly. I mean, tell me a little something about the hotel casino you wanted to build in Abdul's country. Now, some folks are saying those things are worth an awful lot of money. They're even saying that they're worth a king's ransom.
Tony, throw him out.
Listen, Hercules, where I come from, if you break it, you buy it.
We've got trouble. Name's Matt Houston.
Listen, I'm sorry. Somebody's shooting at me over there. I'm sorry. Happy trails.
Guess which one is Sinbad the Sailor?
Who cares?
It would be Mr. Houston. I am Prince Fahad ibn Hassim Ahlu Sahla. I greet you in the name of my brother.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice of you.
Yanni. And you would be his beautiful assistant, Miss C.J. Parsons. My brother has told me of you also, but Allah Jabak, you are even lovelier than he scribed.
Well, thank you.
And he says you're a lawyer, too. It's so hard for me, too. Come, Miss C.J. Parsons. I have something special for you.
But Prince Fahad, we really think it would be important to see the king, and Mr. Houston feels the sooner the better.
My brother is a king. He will see you when he will see you. It is this whole kidnapping business. It has him depressed. Very, very depressed, I'm afraid.
It doesn't seem to cramp your style much.
Ah, at last. A little token of my esteem for you, Miss C.J. Parsons. The diamonds and the rubies are from the mines once known as King Solomon. The gold... What does it matter where gold comes from?
Prince Fahad, thank you, but no thank you.
So, if this is what you Americans call hard to get, people who know me well, Miss C.J. Parsons, will tell you, I get what I go after. I do not tolerate the pain of disappointment well.
Well, this same disappointment that you don't tolerate very well, did you feel the same thing when your brother was chosen for king over you?
You are in luck, Mr. Houston. It seems my brother has chosen to see you now. The secretary will show you the way. Mr. Houston. Tell me, where did I go wrong with Miss C.J. Parsons?
Oh, well, that's easy. See, it was the diamonds and the rubies. See, I'll tell you what she really goes for is emeralds and pizza. Yeah, pizza from Mom and the Belly's restaurant. Oh, she goes crazy for that stuff. Remember that?
Pizza?
Good afternoon. I understand you have met my brother, Prince Fahad. I had to warn you, Mr. Houston. He's not the fool he likes the world to think he is. He's a well-educated, intelligent, ambitious man.
Ambitious enough to kidnap your son? For some kind of power play, maybe?
I was hoping you would have found out something by now.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a few things. Somebody not very excited about me working on this case. They took a couple of shots at me a while ago.
Yes, I know.
You do?
I was contacted by the people who are holding my son no more than 20 minutes ago. They also threatened that if you were to persist and get too close, they would kill Ali.
Well, how do you want to proceed? Or do you?
In my religion, Mr. Houston, we are supposed to turn toward Mecca and pray 5 times a day. The first time at the exact moment of sunrise. Now you say it might be difficult to know the exact moment, especially for desert people, without modern instruments. But over the centuries, we have found a way. And that is to lay 2 threads on the back of your hand, one black, the other white. And in that early morning moment, when you can distinguish the black from the white, you start your prayers. It's a very delicate balance, Mr. Houston. The sort of balance I hope we can attain in this situation. I desperately want to save my son's life. But I also must know who betrayed me.
Did they ask you for a ransom?
Yes, $1 billion. I've agreed to pay, on the condition that I talk to my son. They'll call again at 8 p.m.
Did you say 1 billion, as in 1,000 million?
Whoever they are, they did their financial homework. They're being drawn together right now in the form of $100,000 U.S. Treasury certificates. Now you know everything I know.
Yeah, well, almost everything. I just need to know exactly how much time do we have.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Come on, Your Highness, let's stop playing this little game. Now, how sick is your son? How long can he last without that medication?
How did you find out?
Something you said out at the ranch, it bothered me. I did some checking on it. Now, you took your son out of school right before the midterm examinations, and that's not right. Now, your son was a very fine athlete, and then just 3 months ago, he was excused from all physical activity on a medical waiver.
Yes, my son has a heart problem, something that only developed recently. I've been assured it could be corrected with surgery.
That's why you brought him here for the operation, huh?
Yes.
Why is there so much secrecy surrounding his ailment?
Unfortunately, Miss Parsons, I live in a country that sees weakness as a sign to attack. I was afraid that if it were known, some of my enemies would have taken advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I got a sneaking suspicion they already have.
Hey, Matlock.
How's it going, Buck?
Well, up until now, everything's downhill and shady. Then a whole army of cops and the FBI showed up. They got wind of this somehow. They claim an anonymous phone call. Anyway, they're swarming all over the plane.
Houston! Houston!
Oh, boy, you didn't talk to him, did you?
Not a word. Abdul's government is claiming diplomatic immunity, so technically they can't take any action. But I do think they might have a few plans for me, so I got to get moving.
Yeah, what about the map of where they jumped off
I got
the
it.
plane?
I'll meet you over at Hangar 4.
Gotcha. Vance!
Houston.
Vance, fancy meeting you here.
Look, Houston, if you're involved in this, you've got to tell me. I mean, it's too big. You're talking federal government, FBI.
Listen, Vance, sometimes there's questions friends shouldn't ask friends.
Is that bad?
Off the record?
Houston, you're going to make me into a motorcycle cop again. Yeah, off the record.
It's got to do with the life of a 14-year-old boy, Vance. Now, if this breaks in the news media, he's going to be dead. Now, there's a good chance that he's already dead.
Okay, you'll fill me in when you can?
As soon as I can, Vance. I'm going to need your help, too.
Okay. Guess I'll go see how the big boys investigate.
What the hell are you trying to do?
Oh, I was trying to jam the elevator on that bird.
You okay?
Well, considering I just went trolling on the asphalt, I guess I'll be all right.
Okay, that's it, boys. No more free passes. Now you're both gonna have to talk. Houston, we have an aircraft belonging to a foreign government with bullet holes in it. And the foreign government is maintaining a diplomatic silence. The fault is there's a passenger manifest with a 14-year-old boy on it when it took off and not when it landed. The
Vance.
ugly word kidnapping comes to mind.
Vance, I need some time.
And what am I supposed to do with our friends from the FBI? Tell them that I was shooting at that airplane because I'm celebrating the 4th of July early?
Why don't you feed me to them? I can talk to them for days without ever telling them anything they want to know.
Now, that's fact I can attest. Now, look, Vance, I know you're sticking your neck out on this one, but if you could just stick it out a little bit further.
It's 15 years on the force between friends. Just tell me, off the record, was there or wasn't there a kidnapping?
Yes, there was, Vance. Now, a 14-year-old boy and his abductor parachuted out of a plane somewhere over the Mojave. Now, Buck's got that spot marked on his map.
Point is, Mojave's a big place. Even if they timed their jump, there are too many variables, too much territory. They had to have beepers on those chutes.
That's right. They must have had a backup team on the ground, probably with a chopper to track down those beepers.
All right. I'll check and see if there's any choppers or light aircraft operating in the area last night.
Well, now the big question is, how do we get you out of here? I mean, even if you go out that window, they're going to spot you.
Now, I'm surprised at you, Buck. I mean, you always told me that you got to think ahead. Now, I've got a couple of notions of my own.
Gentlemen, Mr. McCune is ready to talk to you.
Hey, where's the other one?
What other one?
You know what other one? The cowboy.
Right now, CJ, I'm trying to shut it off. What are you doing out here, anyway?
I'm here because Murray got some very interesting information on Jessica Collier. Apparently, as fabulous as her father is at running Swingers International, she's the worst. She's about $40 or $50 million in debt to the boys, if you get my drift.
The boys that break your arms and legs when you don't pay up.
The same. She really needed that casino, Houston. Houston, why don't you try turning off the key?
That was going to be my next move, CJ.
Good. Meanwhile, Houston, the consulate called, and the king wants you to be there before 8 o'clock tonight.
That's when the kidnappers are going to call, 8 o'clock.
You got it.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Houston. I wanted to personally apologize for wasting your time and risking your life. I've told my secretary to mail you a check. I hope it will be satisfactory.
A check?
It's very simple. Your services are no longer required, Mr. Houston. It's over.
What happened? Did something happen to your son?
No, not yet. So far, the only thing that has happened is that allies played a great joke on me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I still don't understand you.
I was to be Abdul the Reformer. I who placed myself above my brother because he squandered his wealth. I was going to return the oil wealth of our country to the people, feed the hungry, clothe the poor, and then they stole my only son. In order to buy him back, I was ready to forget all, the hungry, the poor, everything.
You mean you're not going to pay the ransom?
Still don't understand, Mr. Houston. That's the great joke. I, Abdul the Reformer, went to loot the treasury. It was too late. The first of my reforms had already started. Mr. Houston, I don't have the money to ransom my son.
You can raise the cash somehow. I mean, there's got to be other sources.
Of course, but it would take time. By then, my son would be dead.
Abdul, look at me. Look at me. And no one is going to blame you for trying to save your son's life. Now, what are you going to tell them when they call back?
What can I say? I don't have the money. I could raise a few millions, but I wouldn't settle for that now.
Abdul, damn it. I will do anything. You just stall. I will deliver it.
You would, but how?
Listen, we can fill a suitcase full of newspaper, anything. We got to stall it.
They'll kill you if they find out.
Listen, we have not got another choice right now. Now, come on. Go ahead.
This is Abdul.
Father?
Ali? How are you, Ali?
They're treating me all right. I'm cold. I don't feel very well.
You have heard he's alive? Do you have the ransom? All of it?
I have it all!
All in treasury certificates. They'll be delivered by a man named Matt Houston.
We will call again. 5 a.m. with final instructions.
How can I help you?
Well, for starters, how'd you do on the Mojave location?
Good and bad. There was a copter operating in the area that night, probably the one that picked up the boy and the kidnapper. The bad is...
Let me tell you, they don't have a flight plan and nobody knows who they are.
You got it.
Vincenzo! Vincenzo, è qui un'altra volta, eh? That crazy man, he just pulled up out front again.
Crazy man.
Ma quel matto là, the one who wears the bed sheets on his head. The one who says he wants to buy my restaurant.
Prince Fahad? What would he be doing here?
Well, I'm afraid that's my fault. See, I told him that you were crazy for Mama's Pizza.
You did?
Miss C.J. Parson, I called your house, your office, looking for you. Green emerald. For the green envy every woman must feel when she see your beauty.
You told him about those two?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Ah, Madame Novelli, please, 1,000 pardons. I make it 5 million for this lovely restaurant. 10 million. Price does not matter. It is a love offering.
Vince, I think I better be going now.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather catch a kidnapper tonight than have to make that delivery tomorrow. Anyway, I better start eliminating some of these suspects.
Suck time, Mr. Houston, leaving so soon.
Oh, yes, Prince, but I tell you what, I'll be talking to you real soon. Oh, listen, the emeralds and the pizza at work, she's crazy about you.
Hello.
You enjoy drinking alone?
Well, only when I know a pretty lady's gonna join me. A little, bubbly.
Thank you. On the phone, you said it was urgent. Had to do with Allie's life.
Oh, yes, it is urgent. Yeah, it's got to do with your life and my life and possibly how much money we're both gonna make out of this deal. You see, King Abdul wants me to deliver the ransom money. Well, you know all about that anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Jessica, I mean, you set up the whole kidnapping thing.
You're out of your mind.
Jessica, why don't you just knock it off? Your company's been going downhill ever since you took it over. You borrowed an awful lot of money from some people who get very nasty when you don't pay them back. You and your relationship with King Abdul, no, that sure didn't make it very hard to set things up, now did it?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I loved little Ellie as if he were my own. I loved Abdul before. So I'm a lousy businesswoman, Mr. Houston. That doesn't make me a kidnapper. Someone who could turn on the people she loves. Abdul.
Sorry, Jessica.
I'm sorry, Jessica. We cannot take any chances. Now, what I told you on the phone is true. It is a matter of life and death. Ollie's.
This is Abdul.
Listen carefully. I'm only going to say this once.
Now, you listen to me, friend, for just one moment. Now, I know you're doing exactly what you're told. But I tell you, this thing could go a whole lot smoother and a whole lot faster if you just put your boss on the phone. Put Buck McEwen on the phone.
Hello, Matlock. Sorry to disappoint you.
Listen, Buck, it's not too late to turn this thing around. Just please let that boy go, all right? And I promise you, I will give you time to get away.
Bottom line, Matlock, I get the money or the boy dies.
Where and when?
Payphone, Griffith Park Observatory, 8 a.m. Of course, you know I'm going to have to put you through a few paces to make sure you're alone.
Houston.
Hello there, Matlock.
Hello, Buck.
Look, old buddy, there's no point in either one of us getting hurt. Just remember I taught you most of what you know.
Yeah, when did you forget the most important things she taught me, Buck? Like honesty and the value of one man's word to another.
Now, here's the bottom line. If you look across the street, you'll see a motorcycle. Just go in the direction it's pointed. You take the first fire road. You got 4 minutes to get to the payphone at the bottom of the fire road. Otherwise, the boy's never going to be seen again.
Payphone at the bottom of the fire road, Ben. I'm sorry, ladies. Are you all right?
I'm all right, Vince. I just took a little spill. Houston.
The path in front of you leads to the miniature train depot. You got 3 minutes to reach the payphone.
On my way to the miniature train, Vince.
Houston, where the hell are you?
Listen, you gotta know I'm by myself right now. Now, come on, what do you say you slow the pace down a little bit?
You see the bus stop across the street? Be a bus along any minute. Beyond it.
Bus, Vince. As soon as I know where it's going, you'll be the first to know.
Hey, Matlock, I trained you pretty good. Not you, just the money.
No, without the boy, Buck.
I'll use it if I have to, and I don't want to hurt you.
Listen to me, Buck. That boy has not got a chance unless he gets to a doctor in a hurry.
Put in the money, or the boy hasn't got a chance.
Listen, kid, how'd you like to rent your van? Here's my card, and, well, here, take all of it. I appreciate it, thanks.
Awesome, Mr. Houston.
Head for the airport. Make sure the plane's ready. Cakewalk all the way. How's the boy doing?
Piece of cake. We've been hacked.
What are you talking about?
I told you not to bring him in on this, but you had to show off. Let them investigate. You never suspect us, Dan.
Just put it down, all right? There's no use. Now give it up!
He's right, Krieger. It's over. It's all over.
Only if I go to prison. There are only two people who can do that. I'm gonna kill.
Krieger! Boy, that was pretty stupid, wasn't it? Don't let the medics get to me, okay? Couldn't handle prison.
Buck, why'd you do it?
Too many things, too many places. And that was a chauffeur, a private jet, brass ring. I just could never catch the brass ring. Hey, Madeline. Don't be mad, huh?
Buck. You're gonna be all right, son. Come on.
Where's Buck McEwen?
Inside, Vance. You saved my life again.
How do you ever get on to Buck in the first place?
Process of elimination. Once he decided Jessica Collier didn't do it, he checked into the background of Prince Fahad and discovered that he couldn't have organized a Cub Scout raid on a marshmallow hunt.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll tell you, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, we were still living in Lubbock at the time. They had a minor league ball club there, and these guys were just terrific. There's one guy on that team that was so good. Oh, he was my favorite. I remember one Saturday morning, I took off real early, and I ran all the way down there, and I got my little autograph book, you know, and I stuck it out, and, you know, get those autographs, and there he is. He's coming across the field at me. Just as big as life. And I ran up to him, and I stuck that book out, you know, I was all smiles and everything. And, he said, "Why don't you get the hell out of my way?" You know? And, oh, that's some feeling. I don't think I'll ever forget that. I don't think I've ever felt worse in my life. Up until now. Listen, everybody, I'm sorry. I'm being kind of a wet blanket tonight.
You don't have to explain nothing, Houston. Actually, we stopped by to try to cheer you up. Got some good news about Beulah.
Beulah? Fellas, I forgot all about Beulah. Is she still coming after you?
Well, she was, till I outslickered her. I sent word that I'd joined the Peace Corps. He said he'd been sent off to Africa. And Houston, that woman's so dumb, she took every word of it.
Lamar? Lamar Pettibone, where are you hiding? Lamar? Lamar Pettibone?
Better cock your pistols.
CJ, how do I look?
Houston, for the 47th time, you look wonderful.
Are you sure?
Houston, I realize that you haven't seen her since you were 13 and you want to make a good impression.
Well, I want to make a great impression, CJ. I mean, that's why it's so important that it'll look good.
Well, Murray thinks you look great. The secretaries think you look great. The parking attendant that you asked thinks you look great. Trust me when I tell you, she'll think you look great.
Are you sure? CJ, do you think I'm going to be all right on the boat and all?
Houston, you're the one who's been saying that seasickness is a question of mind over matter.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking about that boat. I'm rocking back and forth in the hot sun.
Houston, the boat's going to be docked. You won't feel any motion at all inside the marina. Come on.
Yeah, well, CJ, it's just, see, I haven't seen Honey in a whole bunch of years, and I'd hate to do anything to embarrass her. Well, CJ, listen, take a look at this, would you? What do you think?
I hope you have a wonderful time. Just go on up, get a drink, and make yourself at home.
Thank you, dear.
Boy.
Wholesome wench. Would share a tot of rum with a weary corsair.
Oh, no, thank you, Binky. I'm working, remember.
Oh, for God's sake, honey, don't be so boringly conscientious.
Well, it's very important to me that this party goes well.
How could it not? You're the best manager the club's ever had.
Thank you, Binky. But I'm afraid not everyone shares your opinion.
Rawson, Harmon, the four. Huh.
If he has his way, someone else will be sitting in my office.
Now, honey, there are others of us on the board. Don't you worry about him. Well, Richard, I'm surprised to see you made it.
Believe me, I wouldn't have missed this one for anything.
Dickie, darling, is he a producer, too?
No, baby. Binky here spends money. I make it. Binky, I want you to meet the next Bo Derricks, Andrea and Dorian.
Charmed, I'm sure.
They're going to be starring in my new picture, Savage Women Unleashed. Growl for the man, Andrea.
Growl.
I love talent.
I'll tell you, if I was back home and it was a hot day, I'd tell you what I'd go for, and that's a big, tall glass.
Of your mother's own ice-cold buttermilk. Houston! Houston, look at you, all grown up. Oh, honey, if I'd known you're going to turn out like this, I'd spend a lot more time with you.
Certainly would have filled an awful lot of lonely 13-year-old nights. This is C.J. Parson.
Lewis?
Hi, C.J.
Time to get this thing started.
Right away, Mr. Harden.
This is a private party, mister. Members only.
This is Matt Houston, the detective I told you I was going to call.
The hired help usually goes to the business office. See that you do in the future.
I'm sorry, Houston.
No need to apologize for other people's rudeness, honey. Tell me something. You mean you looked me up after all these years just because you needed a detective?
Lewis!
I'm sorry. Here's why. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could get your attention, please. We're gathered here today to honor the newly elected Commodore of the Southland Yacht Club.
Thank
This is either somebody's idea of a very bad joke or Honey's in real trouble.
I shall accept this honor.
Guilty, 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 the avenging angels say. With justice swift like a serpent's fang, the first will die on a sunny day. Wonderful.
And to present him with his official Commodore's coat.
Does it bother you that it's a sunny day today?
Caught yourself one deadly snake with the gaboon viper. According to experts, still had enough poison to take out a few more people.
Vince, where did it come from?
Africa, originally. More recently, the zoo. Stolen just before dawn this morning.
Whoever it was didn't leave much time to tuck the snake in Commodore's coat.
This time there's a crazy need. I got a feeling that whoever wrote that Looney Tune letter would manage to make time. Houston, are you all right?
It's your swaying back and forth, Vince.
I'm not swaying.
Mr. Houston.
Yeah?
Mrs. Lewis, the club manager, she'd like to see you inside. Hey, you feeling okay?
Well, it's nothing that planting my feet on a little terra firma won't take care of.
Hey, Houston, ask her to stick around. I'm gonna need to talk to her when I'm finished here.
All right.
I hear the snake that offed old Harmon was from Africa.
That's right.
Far out.
You find African snakes amusing?
Well, I guess you'd say, just righteously just. Heck, I could tell you. You're just a PI, another working stiff. The dead guy, Rawson Harmon IV, he was a bourgeois pig. Fact is, most members around here are...
Yeah, listen, that's all very interesting, but I'll tell you, as one member of the oppressed proletariat to another, what the hell's it got to do with an African snake?
Well, that's where he made most of his money, Africa. Made a fortune in diamond mines, squeezing out of the sweat and lives of the oppressed workers. That's why I smiled. I mean, it just seems a little ironic after all those years of grinding people into the ground in Africa. Somebody from the ground in Africa killed him. I'll find Mrs. Lewis inside.
Do you get the impression he's been to one too many radical campus meetings?
Mm-hmm. Well, what bothers me is how do you know about the African snake? We didn't even know about that till Novelli told us.
No, Novelli didn't know about it till the zoo people told him.
Yeah, and that kid wasn't close enough to either the zoo people or Novelli to have heard anything about it. Honey?
Houston, would you like something to drink?
Not for me, thank you.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been a busy day, but I would like to sit down.
Okay. Would you like some coffee?
Would that be good?
Gary, 3 coffees, please. When I first called you was when I received that threatening note. I thought you could help.
Well, I'll tell you, the death of Ross and Harmon IV is now a police matter, unless I had a client, which I don't.
You do have a client. That is, if you'll take me. You see, Houston, I'm afraid the police are going to think I killed Harmon. We weren't exactly good friends.
Well, not getting along isn't exactly a classic motive for murder.
He was going to fire me. It wasn't a secret. The whole club knew. And if that wasn't good enough, you know the Commodore's jacket he was given today? It was kept in my office until this morning.
Any idea who might have put that snake in the jacket?
No, but you've got to see it's not going to look good for me when the police find out we didn't get along.
Honey, have you got any idea of who had access to your office between dawn and the time you got the jacket?
Binky Brabworth. He's the treasurer of the club, also publishes the club paper. He'd have a key to my office.
Anyone else?
I don't know. You know, this morning I came in early, and I thought I saw one of our club members leaving by the side door. But when I got inside, my office door was open, and I'm sure I locked it last night.
Well, which member?
I can't be certain, but I think it was Richard Bevac.
Dickie Bevac, the sleazo movie producer?
The membership committee of this club doesn't care where your money comes from, as long as you have plenty of it. Houston, what am I gonna do?
Well, I think you're gonna have to sit tight and answer all the questions that the police ask you, and we'll see what we can come up with, all right?
Thank you.
I can't tell you what a long time I've waited for that. I'll talk to you soon, huh?
Houston figured if we were going to help Honey, we better do some homework on some yacht club members. It ate up most of the rest of the day, and when we were through, we fed the results to Baby. Now here we have have the late and not too lamented Rawson Harmon IV. In fact, last week he was elected Commodore of the club in a very close election.
One more. Thank you.
You see, CJ, if the man was that ornery, why do you suppose the club members voted him in as Commodore?
Well, he's a very powerful man who uses his influence to get what he wants. Which brings us to the point that he was the one who flew Honey out here about 6 months ago.
Yeah, it bothers me, CJ. I mean, he went to all the trouble to bring her out here, and then why did he suddenly decide to fire her?
I'll remind you to ask her. Richard Dickey Bevac.
That's the man that Honey said she saw leaving the club this morning.
You got it. Very successful producer of exploitation films, low budget, high profits, and responsible for such winners as Killer Babies, Gnaw, and Cannibals from Planet Zero.
No. Like in Gnaw?
No.
Oh, come on, CJ, you're pulling my leg.
No. In fact, Cannibals from Planet Zero wasn't bad.
CJ, you have a very dark side that I don't believe I've ever seen before.
True. I'm saving it up for you. Now, Richard Bevac has always wanted to be Commodore of the club, and every year when someone puts him up for election, Harmon blackballs him. Now that Harmon's been elected, Bevac's out in the cold again.
You suppose being passed over as Commodore would be a motive for murder?
Well, not for most minds, but this is a mind that's come up with such classics as Killer Babies and Gnaw and...
Big Cannibals from Planet Zero with a zapping and...
You got it.
Yeah, who's next?
Carlton Binky Brabworth. His great-grandfather invented the thumbtack.
I always wondered who did that.
As you know, he also is responsible for publishing the Yacht Club newsletter.
Yeah, that's where you got all these pictures.
Your powers of deductive reasoning are brilliant, Houston.
DJ, we were talking about Mr. Brabworth.
Yes, we were. Now, he's not as rich as he would like you to believe. In fact, he gets his money from a trust fund that comes from municipal bonds, and he spends it faster than he can clip the coupons. He is also everyone's favorite gambler at any game.
You mean he loses?
Constantly. As a matter of fact, his biggest debt is Rawson Harmon.
Yeah, how big?
Texas big.
I think we better start with Mr. Brabworth.
Why him?
Well, I'll tell you something, CJ. It's because Well, I've never met a man named Binky before.
Binky, I want you to meet the next Bo Derricks, Lucy and Tanya. They're going to be starring in my new picture, Savage Women Unleashed.
How nice.
You take the tiller, you hoist the mainsail.
Brabworth, I'm Matt Houston.
Oh, Mr. Houston, it's a pleasure. Yeah, Honey mentioned you might be around. Won't you sit down?
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry about all this litter. Municipal bonds. See, I have to clip off these coupons every 3 months and take them down to Chase Manhattan and cash them.
Well, it's a lousy job, but somebody's got to do it, huh?
And then there's all this preparation for the shipwreck party.
Well, listen, Mr. Brabworth.
Binky.
Binky.
I hope you'll excuse me, but I have to finish clipping these things. If I don't do it...
Yeah, I know, it just won't get done. No, you go right ahead. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about Rawson Harmon IV.
A boor. Took himself much too seriously.
Yeah, well, what exactly was your relationship with him?
Adversary. He voted against me in every board meeting.
Well, what about outside the boardroom?
Well, we really didn't have that much in common.
Played cards with him?
Yes.
Lost?
Sometimes.
Often?
I'm not a very good card player.
Yeah, well, you owed him quite a bit of money, didn't you?
Nothing I couldn't repay, Houston.
Yeah, well, maybe you just couldn't repay it as quick as he wanted you to, huh?
Mr. Houston, yes, I had a motive. Anyone who knew Harmon had a motive. He wasn't a very pleasant man. Houston, have you spoken with Jeb, a particularly interesting person? Jeb. He loves his mother a lot. Very protective of her. Obsessed, almost.
I love my mother a lot, too.
Your mother isn't Honey Lewis.
Confirms the merger for the electronics group. And here are the papers for the new clothing thing. Right?
Looks like we've got our first customer. Houston, what happened to you?
Somebody tried to set a fire out at the yacht club.
What?
With a flare. See, CJ, you had to be there. Listen, I want you to get Honey on the phone for me right away.
I'll do better than that. She's right here.
I want to talk to you, Honey, about your son, Jeb.
Oh, Houston, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you about Jeb because I didn't want to involve him. He has nothing to do with this.
Honey, it seems to me like there's an awful lot that you're not telling me about, like the fact that Rawson Harmon was the one who brought you out here to California in the first place.
I didn't think it was important.
Honey, rumor has it that I'm the detective around here, so why don't you let me decide what's important and what's not, all right? Is that a deal?
Deal.
Good. Now let's talk about Jeb.
I was married, secretly, when I was in college back in Texas. When Jeb was born, his father disappeared. I never saw him again. And that's when I moved to New York.
Now, that brings us to Rawson Harmon, the dead man. Now, honey, what exactly was your relationship with him?
Oh, it isn't what you're thinking. Yes, we had an affair, but that was a long time ago. And we've remained good friends ever since.
Is that why you got the job at the yacht club?
Yes, when the job opened up, he called me. And he asked me if I would come out and help manage the club.
And just 6 months later, he decided to fire you. Now, what is going on?
Look, Houston, I take my job very seriously. Maybe he didn't count on that. He was used to running things. But the members started to turn to me. He could not stand not being the center of attention. He was jealous.
How'd you get along with your son?
Can't we leave Jeb out of this?
No, we cannot leave Jeb out of this. Now, somebody took a shot at me at the yacht club.
But, Houston, you don't think that... Listen, Jeb is a good son. He's a good boy.
Honey, is there any way? I mean, did he know Harmon was going to fire you?
Oh, yes. But... Look, Houston, maybe I was wrong about this. It was a mistake to get you involved.
Damn it, honey, I am involved in this. Now, somebody is trying to kill me, and I am not going to back off this case till I find out who it is.
You know, you always were stubborn as hell.
That's right, and you always were...
Sweet as honey.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
Hello there. You got a minute to talk to another oppressed member of the working class?
Yeah, sure. Come on aboard.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about Harmon.
That bourgeois pig?
Yeah, well, you'd mentioned that.
Working people everywhere can breathe a sigh of relief now that he's history.
You were working people like your mother?
My mother? What does she have to do with this?
Well, you knew Harmon was going to fire her, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. And it was so typical. I mean, she's the best, man. The best at everything. Before she took over as manager of the club, it was nothing but a capitalist garbage heap. And as soon as she got things running right, that pig wanted to dump her.
Well, I know how much the job meant to your mother, and I know you care an awful lot about her, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Wait a minute. You're not trying to say I offed Harmon. Forget it.
Got any idea who might have?
Harmon wasn't what you'd call Mr. Sunshine. A lot of folks hated that creep.
Who hated him the most?
No contest. Mr. Hollyweird himself, Dickie Bevac.
Yeah, because Harmon kept bumping Bevac for Commodore, huh?
Wake up, man. Capitalist power brokers only kill one another for one reason. Cold, hard cash. I heard the two of them arguing in the bar. Harmon was gonna call in all his loans to Bevac's movie company.
Yeah, and Bevac was none too happy about it, right?
Offered to make him the victim in his next slasher movie. Tell me something, man. I found out a little bit about you. Big Texas millionaire. How many millions of dollars have you wrung from the sweating backs of the working man?
Hopefully none. See, I try and treat everybody fairly.
How? By hoarding millions of dollars that really belong to the people?
No, you see, by treating them all like human beings. I don't prejudge them or pre-label them. You really ought to try it sometime.
Hey, Houston, are you hungry? I'm really hungry. Why don't you stay for lunch? I got some sardines here.
No, thanks. I'll take a rate check.
I got some beans, too. I could heat them up in the galley.
No, thanks. I better be running along.
Oh, come on, Houston. Why don't you stay for lunch?
No, das vidanya, comrade.
Hello there. Hi.
Hi. Sorry I dropped in on you like this.
Anytime.
Yeah, but I probably ought to be going.
Hi. What's your hurry? Yeah, why don't you stick around? Maybe you can rub some lotion on our backs. And fronts.
Fronts. I could probably do that, yeah. Yeah, listen, I gotta run.
Getting killed tends to make Houston a mite irritable. He figured it was time to meet the producer, Richard Bevac. When we couldn't get an appointment, Houston decided we should make one for ourselves. The only thing I could find out about Bivac was that he was off making a movie somewhere on those 5 acres he calls his backyard.
I wonder what he's going to call this. Onslaught of the Goons?
Yeah.
Can we help you? Your name, please?
This is Miss Pleasure Fox. She's going to be in Mr. Bivac's next picture.
The Space Vixen.
That's right. My name's Guy Amarillo. I'm Miss Pleasure Fox's personal manager. We have an appointment with Dickie.
What's wrong, Andy?
Guy says he's Amarillo Slim or someone. Lady says she's Pleasure Fox in your next movie.
Pleasure Fox.
Yeah, this is a little foolish to go on with it. My name's Matt Houston. This is C.J. Parsons, my associate.
Mr. Houston, I've heard about you, but nobody told me about the lady. Let them in, Andy. I like creative gate crashers and beautiful women.
Thank you, Mr. Bivac.
You're Houston's associate?
Yes, I am.
You're really not an actress.
No.
All this beauty going to waste in some crummy detective agency.
It's not really crummy. It's kind of nice. Actually, it's well lit.
Well, we'll have to fix that.
Well, no, it's got a great view. You can see the whole town.
How about a screen test?
A screen test?
Excuse me, please. Before you make my associate a superstar here, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Is this all he does? Ask people questions?
Well, it is something he likes to do. Humor him.
Coffee?
I'd love some.
No, thank you.
I'm just fine.
Okay, Houston, for her. But make it short. I've got a meeting with my bankers.
Running a little low on cash, are we?
Not a chance. My last 10 pictures made a fortune. I've got development deals going all over town.
Oh, that's funny. That's not what I heard.
What did you hear?
Well, I heard that your last 10 pictures lost money. They didn't make money at all. And Ross and Harmon's your banker, and if he calls in his loans, you're going to make him the next victim in your slasher movie.
That's a lie. I'm telling you, my financial standings are as solid as a rock.
Are they? Well, you see, because I've been asking a lot of questions in all the financial circles around town, you see, and the word is that you're up to your eyeballs in debt, and that there's not a major studio in town that'll let you on the lot, let alone do business with you.
You're a nosy man, Houston. You should know by now, being nosy can be very dangerous. The interview, if you haven't guessed, is over.
Man's got a temper.
Sure does. By the way, when did you have time to ask questions in all the right financial circles?
No, I didn't really have time, and I won't until I get a chance to call Murray, but I don't think we need to after seeing Mr. Bivac's reaction here. I know, fellas, it's time to go. Screen test, huh? Working late, ladies?
Houston, I need you, John Henry.
Well, I'll even give you my John Hancock. I'm in a great mood. Got good news.
That's good, because I've got bad.
Well, hopefully the two will balance each other out. Shoot, CJ.
Houston, I checked out those Texas files like you asked, and Honey lied to you. She was never married. But Jeb's birth certificate tells who the real father is. It's the dead man, Rothan Harmon IV.
Oh, God. CJ, if Jeb found out about that, or if he saw Harmon treating his mother the way he...
Or if Jeb didn't know, and Honey was afraid that Harmon was going to tell him.
Two good motives for murder.
Well, what was the good news?
The good news is that our suspicions were right. Bivac is on the brink of bankruptcy.
Well, that's 3 motives, not to mention your poker-playing, coupon-clipping bingy. That's 4 motives.
Just when I thought it was getting simple, CJ. Houston. Honey, just stay there, all right? I'll be there in 20 minutes. Honey just got another threatening letter. First of The guilty has already died in the most unpleasant way, but Harmon was lucky compared to the victim who'll go on shipwreck day.
The shipwreck party's tomorrow. Houston, whoever's writing these notes and killing people has to be insane.
And maybe that's just what he or she wants us to believe. I mean, come on, think about it. These death threats, they sound like they're from one of those cheap mystery thrillers, you know, the kind you used to read.
Are you accusing me?
It's just a thought, honey. I'm thinking out loud. And I know you're gonna love my next thought.
Houston, you don't think that Jeb...
What am I supposed to think? He's the only one I know who could kill at random. I mean, the boy's got a chip on his shoulder. He's always going around singing the oppressed bourgeois pigs and all of that.
Houston, Jeb had nothing to do with this murder. You've got to believe me. He's my son. I know.
Jesse James had a mother, too.
Houston, I'm warning you. Leave Jeb out of this. As a matter of fact, you can drop the whole case. You're fired, Houston. And you can leave now.
I'm not going anywhere, honey, till I find myself a killer.
Well, follow me, because I got a court order to search the killer's locker. This one, Cal. When you open this locker, we'll find our killer.
Must be a pretty small fella, Vance.
Houston, don't be funny. That's Jeb's locker.
We found a partial fingerprint on a button inside the Commodore's coat that Harmon put on. You want to bet that's the typewriter that typed the death threat?
Well, anyone could have planted it there. It doesn't mean anything.
I killed him, and I'm proud of it. I'd kill him again. Nothing but a leech, sucking the lifeblood out of society.
Houston, Jeb didn't kill anybody. I killed Harmon.
Don't listen to her. I killed him, Houston.
Listen to me. I killed him.
You know, most of the time I have enough trouble finding one killer.
Yeah, now you got two, Vance.
Well, obviously, they both confessed to protect the other.
Come on, the kid is the killer. The stuff we found in his locker, the fingerprints, his radical political views, it all points to him. You have doubts?
I have doubts, Vance. I mean, it does not make sense. Think about it. It's not clean. It stinks, Vance, and it's not Mama's cooking.
Come here. What's this about my cooking?
No, Mama. Houston was just saying how hungry he is.
Ah, good, because dinner is ready.
Boy, I can't wait.
This is for you, CJ.
Oh, thank you, Mama.
It smells
E
good.
per voi.
Oh, that...
Ecco.
Mama, this looks like birdseed.
It is birdseed. What do you expect? The two of you come in here, you order a big meal, and then you talk about crime, murder, mayday. Ma fatemi piacere.
Mama, it's mayhem, Mama. Mayhem, murder and mayhem.
It sure is. It's gab. You never eat. You just peck at your plates like birds. So the two of you want to eat like birds? Avanti. This is your chance.
Mama, please, this is embarrassing. Could you please bring us some pasta?
If I do, will you eat the whole thing? You swear on the saints?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cross my heart.
CJ, sentito, you're a witness, eh?
I swear, Mom.
Okay, figlio mio. I'll prepare you a dinner. Lasciate fare a me.
Well, anyhow, now that Jeb and Honey are in jail, we don't have to worry about the murder threat tomorrow, huh?
No, Vince, you're still not listening to me. I mean, it does not make sense. It's still too neat. I mean, I would swear on a stack of Bibles that I swear.
Houston, what is it?
Oh, wait. Now, Mama said to Vince that she wanted him to swear on the saints, right?
Vince, do you remember the first part of the first death threat?
Guilty, 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 the avenging angel
That's
sang.
it. You don't have to go any further. Now, if I am not mistaken, angel is the key word to this whole thing. Now, you still think it points in Jeb's direction, right?
Right.
I think we can safely assume that Honey would not frame her son for murder, right?
Sure. What's your point?
The point, Vince, is that Jeb could not be the killer. I mean, he fancies himself as one of those dyed-in-the-wool communists. Now, I will tell you something about communists. They feel very strongly about things that they believe in and things that they don't. What they don't believe in is God, saints.
Angels.
In other words, he would have never used that word.
In other words, the man we have in jail is not the killer, and if we don't find him...
He's gonna kill again tomorrow.
Talent, Freddie. We're in show business, too. Meet the next Bo Derricks, Ty and Tanika. They're going to be starring in my new picture, Savage Women Unleashed. This is Sam Spade. How's it going, Gumshoe?
Well, just dandy.
This party is by invitation only, and I hope you don't have one because I'd love to kick you out of here, too.
Temper, Dickie. I do have an invitation. Binky's holding on to it for me. You haven't seen him around anywhere, would you?
Yeah, I saw him just a moment ago. He's in the trophy room. It's at the end of the hall.
Hey, sir. Ladies.
Well, if I had another girl, I could be a juggler, too.
Houston, you know, if you were a club member, we would fine you for showing up at a theme party without a costume.
Why'd you kill Harmon, Binky? Because of the money you owed him?
Oh, don't be tedious, Houston. It's true I had a cash flow problem, but that's nothing one with proper breeding kills over.
Well, I'll tell you, I went to the Central Library, Binky. I got a microfilm of all your old newspapers. Yeah, all those old newspapers you used to handwrite and send out by the thousands to your mailing list. Yeah, it was something else. You had to go back several years. I spent a couple of hours in front of my computer before I found it.
Found what?
That the type matched. It matched your old newspapers. It matched the death threat notes. It matched the typewriter that you planted in Jeb's locker.
He was going to ruin me. First, he cheated me at cards. And then when I couldn't pay, he was going to have his bullies work me over.
Don't you put that away. I called Novelli and his boys. They're going to be here any minute. Don't do anything foolish, all right?
Foolish? There's nothing foolish about killing someone. I've had to do it once already to save my skin. And now, I am sorry, old fellow. I really sort of liked you. Let's go.
Jerk, not now.
Hi, Pinky. It's party time.
Hi, Gordy. Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Oh, I love yours, too. Drink? Hi, Dinks. Hi, yes, Fuzzy. Judy.
Hey, Pinky, don't forget to take our picture.
Going out to get my camera right now.
Oh, you have
Excuse me, Cordy. Excuse me, please. Trixie, Tootie, Buzzy, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail.
I beg your pardon.
Get back!
Hey, Houston, are you all right?
Next time you rescue me, Vance, just don't sway so much, would you?
Mama, it's perfect.
I'm sure it's perfect. I did it.
Oh, thanks.
Why?
For doing it.
I know that. But why did I do it?
It's a surprise.
For who?
For Houston, he's in love.
He's in love with you? Brava!
Oh, no, Mama. He's in love with another girl. See, at 13.
13? She's 13. He should be ashamed of himself.
No, Mama. She's not 13. He was 13.
He's 13. And she made love to him? She should be ashamed of herself, robbing the cradle.
No, Mama, she didn't make love to him. When he was 13, he fell in love with her, but she wasn't in love with him. You see, but he always wanted to go out with her, so I thought I would surprise him by fulfilling his fantasy about her.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Well, Mama, CJ, what's going on?
So, when are you getting married?
Married?
He's not getting married, Mama.
I'm not?
No.
See? How are you going to have kids if you don't get married?
Good, why? Yeah, how am I going to do that?
I don't know.
You have a little girl. Will you name her after me?
Well, Mama's an odd name for a little child.
No, Mama. Rosa. It's such a cute name for a baby. Rosa Houston.
But it doesn't sound right.
No.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you should change your last name.
Yeah, what's going on?
Never mind. Don't ask questions. Just trust me. I had a little brainstorm about something.
Houston,
Oh, honey, what are you doing here?
having dinner with you.
I am?
You're not.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't have a chance.
You don't want to have dinner with me.
Wait, no. I mean, yes, I do. It's just I don't understand.
I don't either, Matt Houston. You see, CJ told me that you wanted to fulfill a fantasy.
You did that?
Yeah. No, I wanted to fulfill your fantasy.
Oh, you want to fulfill his fantasy.
Not I, me. Me through you.
Ah, the lucky lady. So, when is the wedding?
better cock your pistols.
For what a tuxedo costs these days, you would think they'd come up with some instructions on how to tie the damn thing.
Houston, there's nothing to it.
What do you mean there's nothing to it? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have to speak at this policeman's benefit. I could be watching the ball game.
Very good.
Get it?
Lieutenant, you have a call, line 3.
Thanks.
Houston, I'll help you with this. Now watch what I do. It's easy.
It's not easy. You know, the same fellow that designed this designed the Rubik's Cube.
Yes, sir. I'll meet him behind the convention center. I'm afraid we're gonna have to make a quick stop.
Trouble?
Yeah, at the rally for Senator Delaney, there might be some trouble, and the captain's homesick. Just want to double-check security.
Ready?
Vince, how'd you get yours tied?
Nothing to it.
Yeah, well, it looks... It's a clip-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll swap you.
Just got the word. The senator's left his hotel and he should be here any time now.
There he is. There's the senator now.
Good to see you again. Hey, Bob, look out!
Senator, you all right?
You all right? Oh, just my shoulder. Oh, help me.
All right, take it easy. Take it easy.
He ran right into us. Says it wasn't him. He couldn't find a weapon.
Must be the only one who saw him.
That's him.
No mistake, for the record.
That's him, Vince.
It'll be nice having a real vacation. This resort looks glorious, Houston. I just hope the numbers are as good as Murray says they are. It's my kind of investment. I could easily crash there for a month without any trouble at all.
Don't say the word crash when you're flying near the Bermuda Triangle, CJ.
Sorry about that. Your shoulder still hurt after 3 months?
Just a little bit. CJ.
Got a new court, 129er.
What the hell's going on here?
Are we on an island or what?
Get out.
Follow me.
question at a time, Mr. Houston. You asked what we're negotiating for. It's her. Take her to her quarters.
Just a minute there, Charlie.
Now, Mr. Houston, you don't think I do anything but see this lovely young lady to the most comfortable quarters we have? Her security is guaranteed, my friend. She is my guest for now.
I said...
Houston, it'll be all right.
I'm very pleased you care so much for her, Mr. Houston, because we have something very serious to discuss.
Well, if you're talking about your son, you can forget it. Now, the man was caught red-handed with his finger on the trigger, so to speak.
Yes, but you were the only witness.
How many witnesses does it take for an assassination attempt, huh?
Don't you remember, Mr. Houston, my saying that anything and everything can be negotiated? I suggest we take a little drive to show you how serious this situation is and to give you a better view of the realities. Shall we? There is no escape from him. Suppose you were to make it through the jungle to the coast. Where would you go? Good answer.
Now, where are we? Now, I know we were on a plane. That means there's a landing strip around here. Civilization can't be that far off.
We are, sir, where it suits my needs to be. I am Lord, Baron, you name it. Master of this place, if you will. For a few million in donations to a certain government from time to time, my privacy is ensured.
It helps me out a lot. I'm still in the dark.
Precisely. That's the point. You remain so.
Look, could we just get down to it now? You've got to be crazy. Now, how can I get your son released? He's in jail without bond. The next logical step is going to be a very well-deserved 30-year prison sentence.
You will leave here without knowing where you've been and do exactly as I tell you. Or else your dear Miss Parsons will be forever among the missing, buried in a place the world neither knows nor cares about.
What exactly is it you want me to do?
You will appear in a California courtroom. You will testify to a case of mistaken identity. After all, it was dark. The situation was confused. You were injured, in a state of shock, and you didn't know who you were identifying.
Who do you expect is going to buy that kind of a story, huh?
I expect you, Mr. Houston, to do a masterful job of selling. You will destroy that district attorney's case and free my son. Is that clear?
Yeah. Throw it out.
I'm sorry you did that.
Save your apologies for later, all right? Now, here's the way it's gonna go. We're gonna go back to your hacienda and pick up CJ. And we're gonna go out and find your airstrip. Why don't you get in the back seat, huh?
I sincerely hope we could settle this without a show of force.
We can't. Drive. I said drive. Out of the Jeep. One move. To the house.
That's far enough, Mr. Houston.
I'll be the judge of that. Now move.
The charade is over. Sonny, bring that woman out here.
Gentlemen, that's far enough.
Go ahead, shoot them. Or if that's distasteful, fire into the air. Go ahead. You're a brave man, Mr. Houston. I thought you might try an escape attempt, so I had the accompanying guards carry unloaded weapons. I'd hoped we could do business on a basis of mutual trust, or at least with an understanding of the realities. But I see that's not meant to be. Pity, really. Prepared firing squad.
Duvall, what are you doing? Your problem is with me, not with her. Let her go.
Aim!
I'll do it. Whatever you want.
Stand clear. Goodbye, Mr. Houston.
Mr. Houston, good morning.
CJ.
I thought you and CJ flew to the Bahamas.
CJ.
She's not here. I'll get you some coffee.
Pam. Listen, I know I asked you to cover for me this weekend, but why don't you take the day off? I could use the time to myself.
Sure. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, really. Why don't you spend some time with that fella of yours that never complains about your overtime?
I will. There's nothing I can do?
Not a thing.
Okay.
reminder, Mr. Houston, so there's no mistake. Just as I knew you were a brave man who would try to escape, so I also know you might not be swayed by threats to your life. But I have your Miss Parsons. I will not hesitate to kill her if you do not fulfill your end of our bargain, or if you attempt to betray me. Of course, Mr. Houston, you will be watched.
Hey, let me read your lips, because his ear doesn't hear so good from the war. I'm getting confusing signals here.
Got a problem, Vince. Now, it's my testimony that's going to put that kid away.
Kid, he's a trained assassin, one of the best.
Don't understand, Vince. You don't send somebody to prison unless you're sure, and I am not sure. Now, maybe I just wanted it to be the kid that night.
I don't believe this.
Now, I talked to Judge Risk, and he understands my concern. Now, he tells me there'll be a hearing within 72 hours.
I mean, you're recanting your testimony.
There's nothing else I can do, Vince.
Come on, you put that garbage on the street and
That
walk
is up
away.
to the judge to decide. Now, the law says beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've got a doubt, Vince. Wish you understood my concern.
What does it take, huh? What does it take? I mean, I can buy a rummy with a pint of muscatel, a prison snitch with a favor, or a junkie with the price of a fix. I mean, I know judges can be bought. I know cops can be bought, but what does it take to buy a Matt Houston?
Leave me alone, Vince.
Come on, then tell me what it takes. Huh? It must be something really big, because you know what? I never thought I'd see the day.
You just knock it off.
I mean, what do you give a man who's got everything? Educate me.
I think I made a mistake. What? Matter of conscience.
Here's your conscience. You know, if anybody would ever told me this day would come, I would have bet my kids against it. I'm gonna fight you, Houston. I was on that case, too. I've got some testimony of my own. And you make me sick.
But I have your Miss Parsons. I will not hesitate to kill her if you do not fulfill your end of the bargain. Of course, Mr. Houston, you will be watched.
People, please. My client has been through a long ordeal. The injustice has now been corrected.
Justice?
Mr. DeVal was being charged based on the testimony of one individual. That testimony has been recanted, all charges have been dropped, and he is free.
Free to kill again.
Lieutenant, I'm warning you.
This man is a known terrorist. Now he goes scot-free because of him.
One more word, Novelli. I'll see you in court.
It stinks.
Mr. Houston, can you tell us why you changed your...
Come in.
Sir, just got word by radio. Your son's been set free.
That's it. We won't need that girl anymore. Take her out and kill her.
What's going now, fellas?
Hold it! Bring her back inside. Leave us be. You too. Get out. She's an idiot, but she helps pass the time. We're thousands of miles from nowhere here. So few diversions. I'm sure you understand that. You look like a woman of obvious intellect. taste, class. What is this? Oh, I see. Not good looking enough for you, huh? Do I offend your tender sensibilities? Would you like to hear some gentle words? Here's some gentle words. I just ordered to have you killed, and I thought I might change my mind. You have 1 minute to change my mind.
All right.
No bullet for her. The bullet will be much too quick. Pretty soon we'll have Houston here. Watch each other die. It'll be much slower than a bullet.
Turn to 129er.
129er's gonna take us right out into open ocean. We haven't got that kind of fuel.
129er.
So now that we all know each other a little better and we're getting comfortable, and your friend back there's got a pistol trained at the back of my head, would you mind telling me where we're going?
Between Florida and the Bahamas, off of Cuba and Haiti, there's all sorts of islands nobody's ever bothered to record. Nobody goes there. Set the autopilot.
Guess it means we'll be traveling for a little bit, huh?
We have 17 minutes to go. That is to say, we do. You have somewhat less. You see, Mr. Houston, no matter what my father said, there's no point in you making it back to that island.
And why'd I know you were going to say that? What's it going to be, swan dive from 35,000 feet?
Take him in the back and kill him.
Freeze! Now, hand Mr. Houston the gun.
Bless you, sir.
You mean that little scene outside the courtroom was an act?
I'll catch you on real quick, Junior. There.
You're a fool, Houston. What are you going to do, send me back to jail? That's where I was. We're back where we started.
Not quite. See, we know where your island is now. See, Lieutenant Novelli here used to be a captain in the Air Force. She's going to fly you back to Key West and return with the cavalry.
You go down to that island and he'll kill her.
Not if he doesn't know I'm on the island. Help me on with this, Vance, would you?
Houston, if we don't land on that island, Duvall is gonna know that something's up.
You think whatever he wants to, Vance, as long as I got time enough to get CJ out of there. One way or another.
One way or another. Listen, were you airborne or Rangers? When was the last time you made a jump?
Well, I've never made a jump before, Vance. I was Army intelligence. Where's the cord on this thing?
This is it right here. This is it.
Relax, it's a joke. Come on, we gotta get going.
Good luck.
Thank you. How goes the revolution? Listen, you're probably wondering right now if Matt Houston is the kind of man that'd strangle a woman, aren't you?
I think we both know that you would not.
Well, the only problem is I happen to be thinking about a pretty lady right now that I care an awful lot about. Her welfare depends upon your cooperation. Now, I'd think about that very carefully. Now, are you and me gonna be friends? No?
Yes.
Good. Good. Hey, you just take it easy. Now, take me to Duvall.
I don't know whether you realize or not, but what you're doing is impossible.
We're just gonna have to find that out, aren't we? You drive.
alive.
All right.
How did you get here?
Well, it's a long story, but anyway, the problem is going to be getting out of here.
Okay, because I have a map of the island.
Good.
Look at this.
It's got to be the landing strip. Now, that's where Novelli's going to pick us up. Go.
Hold it, Houston! Stay right where you are! Move it! Cover all doors and windows.
Come on, CJ.
This way. You believe this? Smoke bombs, flares, hand grenades.
Automatic weapons, place is real stockpile.
They're going nowhere. It's just a matter of time.
Tell me something. You believe in God? I sure hope so. But you hold out your hands.
Hold out your hands like a good girl.
If you will notice, that is set for 3 minutes. And in 3 minutes, we're going to find out if there's really a heaven or if we're all going to wind up rabbits in Idaho.
I am a soldier. I have no fear of death. You're bluffing.
Lady, we've got nothing to lose.
Look, if you want to speak to Duval, well, I think I could arrange it. Please. Please. My God.
You best go warn your friends, ma'am.
Hold your positions! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Hold your position!
Hell out of here.
Houston!
I'm getting the hell out of here! Move!
Houston, it looks like the airstrip is off to the right.
I hope you're right. Get out!
You betrayed me, and you betrayed my son. I told you what I'd do.
That'd be Novelli with the cavalry. You face it, Duvall, it's over. Your history.
There are thousands of islands in this world. Brick and mortar can be replaced. There are always new people I can get. And I'll be back in business, my friend. But you will not be here to see it. No, you will not even be here when those planes land. You will be dead.
You wanted to be with your son, Duvall. You're going to be with him real soon. You'll both be together in the same cell.
Ragazzi, dove siete? Ma che state facendo? Oh, facciamo tardi, eh? It's late. What's the hold up? Oh, you can't tie your tie. It's such a simple thing.
Mama, they're dragging their feet because they don't want to go to the opera.
Well, that's not true. It's not that I don't like the music. I just can't understand it. See, I don't speak Italian.
Yeah, I speak Italian. It's Greek to me.
Oh, per carità, I love it. Oh, a proposito, your wife's downstairs waiting for you in the car, so hurry up.
Lieutenant Novelli, telephone, line 1.
Be right back.
Anyway, Houston, it's for charity.
I know it's for charity. I bought the tickets, but does that mean I still have to go?
Well, you don't have to go. It's the mayor, it's the commissioner. I think it's a good idea.
Houston, there's a bomb scare at the Coliseum. Can you give me a lift over there and some backup?
You got it. Listen, ladies, why don't you go on ahead and enjoy yourself? This is an emergency. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Oh, benedetta vita dei poliziotti. Oh.
Isn't it the truth?
It was great the way you did that.
I didn't think you were ever going to come back in there. I mean, what are you going to do now, huh? Come on, let's do something.
All right, let's go. Come on. Come on, we gotta go. All right.